Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Davan Abilisyam, and today I will present about final exam classroom management. Okay, in this presentation, there is part one and part two. The first is technique tolerance. Second, help student handle anger, frustration, and aggression. Number three, disruptive behavior, and then the last is solving problems. Okay, teaching tolerance. Teaching, learning to tolerate and appreciate diversity would be an essential part of child's education. Yet a look at headline and the nightly news seems to indicate that we are rapidly losing our tolerance for diversity. Our appreciation for the difference that have enriched our culture. Racism, prejudice, discrimination, and simple lack of respect for one another continue to be among our most pressing social problems. No one needs to tell you what diversity exists in your classroom. There are ethnic, religious, economic, value, and interest difference among your students. This difference can enrich your classroom, but they can also fuel conflict. The lack of tolerance for difference that can either cause conflict or be used as fuel to escalate conflict. Okay, next. How intolerance and prejudice develop. Much research has been conducted in the areas of prejudice and diversity. Still, no one is exactly sure how prejudice develop in children, or why some people welcome diversity as enriching while others view it as threatening. We don't know that children develop awareness of and prejudice against people who are different very early. These awareness or prejudice are reinforced by family, peer groups, societal and governmental institution, and language. Okay, next. Reducing prejudice and increasing tolerance. There is unfortunately no surefire way to reduce student prejudice and to cause them magically to achieve tolerance. There are evidence that children who are more sophisticated in such cognitive skill as problem solving and concept formatting are less likely to exhibit prejudice attitude and behavior. People who feel good about themselves and have strong, healthy self-concept are much less likely to be prejudiced or intolerant than others. If tolerance is the norm in your milieu, you will, in all likelihood, become pretty tolerant yourself. As author educator David Simon stated, at a very basic level, it appears that school can more effectively combat prejudice if they simply do another job of educating. Next is helping student handle anger, frustration, and aggression. Anyone who teaches know that children do not leave their feeling outside the classroom door, particularly in conflict situation. They express emotion quickly and strongly. When children do not know constructive way to express anger and frustration, they frequently become aggressive, and aggressive behavior leads to conflict. The nature of aggression. Aggression is not an emotion, it is an expression of emotion. It is defined as any behavior intended to harm another person, either physically or emotionally. Aggression usually occurs as a result of an excitement emotional state. Anger and frustration are the emotion that frequently lead to aggression. If the children saw aggression, they always imitated it. Studies by researchers have confirmed that what children learn from such modeling has lasting effect on their behavior. Studies have also been conducted concerning the effective of TV violence on children aggression. Modeling not only show how to be aggressive, it implies that being aggressive is alright. Okay, next. Emotional expression and self-control. Most people will agree that emotions should be expressed, not suppressed or bottled up. For this reason, many people are uncomfortable with the concept of teaching emotional control to children. However, by teaching children positive way to express their emotion, we can improve the way they handle their conflict. Research indicate that the effective method for releasing angry and aggressive feeling are either to express them directly to the one who is responsible for them, or to cool off and let the hostility dissipate. And number two, being distracted or amused to the point of laughter. Next, positive way to express emotion. Number one, work on feeling as topic throughout the day. Casually refer to the effective aspect of the children's day-to-day business in the classroom. I feel good because you're working hard today. I'm disappointed in the story we just read. Did you like it? And number two, let the kids know how you feel at different time of the day. If you are feeling grouchy, say so. They'll appreciate the warning. Number three, keep an eye on how you express your own emotion in the classroom. Do you express them honestly? Do you express them appropriately? Is your behavior really what you want to model? Number four, when you conduct activities such as sharing circles, remember that you are not conducting group therapy. Be respectful of students' privacy. When you do have sharing circle, share of yourself as well. This reinforces the legitimacy of emotional expression and sets a standard for what is acceptable to share. And number five, reward student positive expression of emotion. Okay, next, destructive behavior. Disruptive behavior is when a child is uncooperative and prevent themselves and other children in class from working. Disruptive behavior can be defined as behavior that substantially or repeatedly interferes with the instructor ability to conduct class or other student ability to learn. Disruptive child also managed to grab a teacher's attention and prevent the teachers from giving the other children attention, like cloning, repeatedly tardiness, leaving class without permission, disruptive talking in class without permission, making noise and repeatedly interrupting, reading newspaper or magazine in classroom, eating or drinking in class without permission. And continue being verbally abusive to the instructor or student, personal insult, persistent and unreasonable demand for time and attention, both in out of the classroom, refusing to comply with the direction of the instructor, intimidating or harassing another person through word and or action, treating, intimidating, harassing the instructor or other student, regardless if verbally, threat of physical assault. When students reject opportunities to learn by displaying non-disruptive of task behavior, they suffer the consequences of their own choice. But students who behave disruptively also treat on their rights of other students to learn. You, as their teacher, can hardly ignore disruptive student behavior. Okay, disruptive talking. Laura and Nana consider themselves best friends. They have developed a pattern of talking, not pacing, giggling, and looking at one another during quiet learning activities. Miss Annie now decides that their pattern of disruptive talking must somehow be modified. Careful, though, lead Miss Henny to formulate their three alternative plans. Number one, Miss Henny lower her voice below the level of the combined student voice. Other students who are now training to hear Miss Henny's inaudible word turn to those near them who are talking and tell them to be quiet. As the conversation begins, Mr. Henny, Miss Henny raises her voice so that she can again be heard. Number two, without missing a word in her explanation, she moved between the student and continued speaking to the class. And then number three, Miss Henny continuing with her lecture, gazed over to them, pick up Laura's paper from the top of her desk, and motioned Laura to follow her another part of the room where there is a vacant desk. Miss Henny placed Laura's paper on the desk top, and Laura takes a seat. At no time during the incident did Miss Henny speak directly to either Laura or Rana, nor did she miss a word in her explanation. Next is cloning. Cloning is a student does silly thing in order to make other student laugh. What what should we do if a student do it in the class? Number one, you might just ignore it and try not to focus any more attention on it. Number two, don't impress him or her with his own word. It's very helpful to have a silent face in front of peers. Number three, you must make sure you don't label him or her anyway. Number four, say to the student, I know you are trying to make us laugh, but I do not like to hear that kind of joke. You and I will talk about this after the class leave for lunch today. And then number five, call her or him in front of private conference and be perfectly frank with her. Explain how her cloning is making it difficult for you to do your job. Request her cooperation. If she agrees to try, you'll agree to help her succeed. And next, preventing disruptive behavior. Number one, discuss norm and expectation on the first day of class. Tell students you expect that they will act appropriately, but that you always like to remind students of this norm. Serve as role model and exhibit the type of behavior we expect from students. Share control and responsibility with students in the class, asking them of the first day what the norm for classroom behavior should be, and adding their ideas to your list. Draw up a contract on classroom behavior and ask students to read and sign it the first week of class. Use impression management and your status by dressing and acting personally. Refer to yourself as doctor or professor and have students do so as well. Be extra thorough on all matter the first day and week to set the tone. You can always be flexible and nurturing later. O- Okay, next is solving problem. Problem number one, Mrs. Johnson is a five grade teacher who has been teaching for over 10 years. This year, she has a student named Alex who frequently display aggressive behavior. Alex often disruptive lesson, talk back to the teacher, and sometimes even become physically aggressive toward his classmates. Mrs. Johnson has tried various strategies to manage Alex's behavior, such as setting clear rules and consequences, positive reinforcement for good behavior, and speaking with Alex privately to understand the root of his aggression. However, despite her efforts, Alex's behavior has not improved significantly. And the question, what classroom management technique can Miss Johnson implement to address Alex's aggressive behavior? Provide at least three specific strategies and explain how each one could help improve the situation. Okay, the answer is social emotional learning or SEL exercise can be used by Miss Johnson to assess Alex learn empathy and control his emotions, which could lessen his violence tendencies. Additionally, she can design a behavior intervention plan or BIP specifically for Alex's requirement, which will give him clear direction while continuously monitoring his behavior and rewarding good conduct. Miss Johnson can also better understand the emotional reason behind Alex's behavior and provide him with the assistance he needs to build healthier behavioral response by working with the school counselor. Okay. Problem number two. Mr. Smith is a seventh grade math teacher who has noticed that several students in his class frequently engage in off-task behavior during lesson. The students often daydream, chat with classmates, or use their phones instead of focusing on their work. Despite Mr. Smith's attempt to redirect their attention and provide engaging activities, the problem persists. This off-task behavior of disrupting the learning environment and affecting the overall performance of the class. Question: what strategies can Mr. Smith use to increase on tax behavior and decrease of tax behavior? Provide at least three specific strategies and explain how each one could help address the issue. Okay, the answer is Mr. Smith can increase student engagement and reduce off-task behavior by implementing active learning technique like group project or real-world problem-solving exercise. Clear expectation and regular classroom routine can help students stay focused and minimize misunderstanding. Students can be more motivated and encouraged to stay focused during lesson by receiving positive reinforcement, such as verbal praise or a point-based incentive system for keeping on track. Okay, the problem number three. Miss Brown is an eighth grade English teacher who is facing challenge with a student named Jake. Jake frequently exhibits disruptive behavior in class, such as talking out of turn, making inappropriate comments, and distracting other students. Despite Miss Brown's attempt to manage the behavior through verbal warning and setting change, Jake's behavior has not improved. This this disruptive behavior is affecting the learning environment and making it difficult for other students to concentrate on their work. And question: what specific strategy can Miss Brown implement to manage Jake's disruptive behavior? Provide at least three strategies and explain how each one could help address the issue. Okay, the answer is in order to develop more successful treatments, Miss Brown can do a functional behavior assessment or FBE to determine the causes and intent of Jake's disruptive behavior. Jake can develop a feeling of accountability by using restorative practice to help him think back on his behavior and comprehend how it affects other people. Jack can reach more target and customer support, such counseling session or behavior coaching to help him behave in the classroom more appropriate by putting in place a third intervention approach like RTI or MTSS. Okay, that is my presentation for final exam classroom management. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.